Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. Certainly the game of the weekend, maybe the game of the year, the battle of the unbeatens as we get underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
2nd and 4. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give him 17 on that pickup.
He's crashing. He's checking crack. Go on. Check.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Here we go. 10 Tucson.
Operating from the gun, Love. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Come on, set. Set 16 out.
On 3rd down, Love. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Race don't travel.
From the gun, Love. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Back to throw. Love. Got him in. It's Brown. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
3 down. Check 31. Protein fill. Set hot. Let's go.
2nd and 1. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready? 50, plant. Check, 55 to mine. They can't hang with that.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike.
Operating from the gun. Strong. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively. Brings up 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Hey, Orbit.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That pickup goes for 25. What a flip of the script from 4th down to 1st. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. From the gun. Strong. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Well, not content with a first quarter lead, I guess. They're going to go onside kick. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah, a little tired, and if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Watch the
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Check 4. Blue dot quarters. Alert 3. Back. Squeeze. Get in. Ready.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. From the gun on 3rd down. Love. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number one. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on here to punt it away. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. So a change of possession here on the punt. The Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
Let's go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Set, ready? 18 Gator. Come on, come on. Hey, check 24. Let's go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Strong. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle.
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Fielded at the 43. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
Hey, switch gears. Hey, watch it. Rock it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Off the bootleg. Love. And his throw's going to be incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
A short game that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And if it was sunny, maybe this is a field goal attempt. But with the rain, they're going to go for it on 4th down. On 4th down, Love. The open man is Smith. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Not often do 4th down conversions result in 23 yards, but that's the case here. 1st down. This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10.
3 down. Rush in. Switch. Check now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
To throw on second down. Love. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
On third down, it's Watson. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. This is a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. An incomplete pass leads to second and 10 from the 25.
Hey, Delta. Check hot route. Hot. Go.
To throw again. Strong. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Jim. Switch. Hard. What's the shift.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it second and 12.
At the Steelers' 46-yard line.
Yep. 91 is the mic. Mike 91. Too little. Come. Ready. 91 is the mic. Ready.
Here we go on second and 12. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up third down.
It's third down and 13.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Tight dog. H3, 218. Chopper. Ready.
Throwing on third and long. Love. Now he's going to go for it all. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. Here's a second and 5 now from the 25. Second and 5. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. footwork that led to the incompletion.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. But the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. We've got a little more than a minute to go. I think the offense is saying, hey, all we need here, a field goal, and we can take the lead into intermission.
Well, I think that's what the goal should be. Give your kicker a chance to give you those 3 points. But in the meantime, if someone falls asleep on the defensive side, you might take advantage of that and get a big shot downfield, too.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Love. He's got his man. It's Andrews. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. This quarterback now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60% at its 1st and 10.
Check right. Watching you go. You're out. 25. Check 26. Go.
Operating from the gun. Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Throwing to start the drive. Strong. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Here we go.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Exit. Check mark 27. Ready, go. Hot.
On 1st and 10, Love. And For the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Strong. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Let them know, let them know.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground.
Yeah, baby, boom.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Nine yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I don't want to sound old or anything here, partner, but I remember the days in this situation where you just put the ball in the hands of a running back. Now, it could be anyone carrying the football to try and pick up a first down or a touchdown.
Check 55, Mike. You trap.
Throwing on first down. Strong. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. From the gun, Strong. He's got Higgins over the middle. 25 yards that time. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
On first down, Strong. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Back to the air on 2nd down. Strong. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set.
Under pressure, down he goes. the 10.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But, Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, 1st and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. 2nd and 10. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. From 10 yards out. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Switch up. 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat. It's on.
Operating from the gun. Love. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. The Ravens get a new set of downs. Give them 17 on that pickup.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
You're on 66. Throw it hard. Ready, go.
Off-play action. Love. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
To throw on 3rd down. Love. And the throw there going to be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as they'll go for it on 4th down. On 4th down, Love. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
On 1st and 10, Love. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. From the gun, Love. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Throwing on first down, Love. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Check Mike 27. Check Mike 27.
To throw again, Love. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Operating from the gun, Love. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. He's got daylight. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, 10. And finally out of bounds, just a few yards short of the goal line at the 3.
First down and goal to go at the 3-yard line.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
Hey, Charlie.
From the gun, Strong. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Baltimore. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. 2nd and 3. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet and make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
This will be caught by Brown. And he's going to be taken down about a yard shy of the 1st at the 29. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Space to maneuver at the 40. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
So did you suspect the same thing that I did, that they were lining up just to draw them off sides here?
100%.
Well, how about that? They were going for it the entire time. Never a question in his mind about going ahead and getting it, despite where they were on the field.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it in my voice when they snapped the ball. I was like, oh, I almost wasn't ready to call the play. I just kept waiting for the timeout offensively. Back to throw. Love. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
The throw here to Andrews, the tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
2nd and 9 now. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. As this one moves towards its conclusion, another incomplete pass there. Thoughts on the secondary? I mean, it seemed to be pretty effective in this one.
Yeah, I thought that they've been absolutely outstanding. I mean, their job is to prevent touchdowns, and not a single touchdown is going on the board against them. Of course, they want to make it a total shutout, but hey, if you don't give up touchdowns, you got a heck of a chance to win.
It's caught. Smith. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab, and the Ravens cut into that lead. So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2.
Check 26, check 26.
Operating from the gun. Love toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs to keep up with your theme there, playing keep away. First downs, they can't touch the ball.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Strong. Open man is Higgins. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Go.
On first down, Strong. He completes this one to Mack. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. On first and 10, Strong. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Saw man coverage on the perimeter, and that was a pretty good throw. And it's one of those ones that wasn't an easy catch, but it's one that he thinks that he should have come down with, although I'm sure the opposing cornerback would beg to differ.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A first down there on a pickup of 25. From the gun, Strong. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. A great read, and it's picked off. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw. Love. And this one complete to Smith. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Operating from the gun. Love. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off at the 38. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Successive penalties have them looking now at a 1st and 20.
I got you. Under 10. 10. Get.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Read it well, and it's picked. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing him.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Love. Over the middle here to Brown. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Operating from the gun, Love. Eluding the pressure right. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Well, they knew a lot of steps had to happen here. They got step one, the touchdown. You need a two-point conversion here, don't you?
You do, and as you continue to look ahead, if you're able to get that, somehow get the ball back and get another score, they have to go for two again. That's why teams are practicing multiple two-point plays.
We saw that in Super Bowl 51 with the Patriots getting a pair of big two-point conversions. From the gun, Love. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. And that often runs you into a penalty.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
Get in the weight room.
And boy, again, they won't get this off in time. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.